The pet food industry has been selling you an absolute lie for the last 60 years. What is inside that bag of kibble? That plastic-lined paper bag with vibrant colors and photos of dogs jumping through wheat fields that you bought last week is not food. It is a business. And like any business designed by massive multinational corporations, its main goal is not for your dog to live a healthy, strong, and happy life. Its only real goal is for you to be a loyal customer, to not ask uncomfortable questions, and to keep swiping your credit card month after month for a product that, in reality, costs them almost nothing to manufacture. My name is Levi Miller. I grew up in an Amish community in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, a place where time is measured differently and where honesty is the foundation of everything we do. On our farm, the concept of commercial dog food simply did not exist. It wasn't a lifestyle choice, it was a pragmatic reality. Our dogs ate what we cooked in the kitchen, over the same fire we used for our own dinner. They worked 12 hours a day under the sun, moving through the fields, helping with the livestock, and they lived more than 15 years with a strength and energy that today, in the modern world, would seem impossible. None of them suffered from those allergies, those skin problems, or the premature arthritis that I see today as an everyday occurrence in the dogs of my neighbors in the outside world. Here, outside the farm, everyone accepts it as if it were normal for a dog to get sick as it gets old. But I know that is not normal. It is the direct result of what we put in their bowl day after day, without questioning it. For years I didn't think much of it because I thought it was just the way things were, that was life. Until one day, a man from the city came to visit us and asked me, almost as a courtesy, how much money I spent per month on my dog's food. When I gave him the number, the man was speechless. He was spending 18 times more money than I was to feed a single dog. And the worst part wasn't the price he was paying, but seeing his animals. They were sad, always tired, always scratching themselves endlessly, always depending on the pills the vet prescribed every month. It was at that moment that I realized the great lie. The system has convinced people that the convenience of opening a plastic bag is the best thing for the dog. They have managed to make people believe that being a good owner means buying the most expensive brand on the shelf. But the truth is that this convenience is what is killing your dog little by little. People believe that food brands don't want to hurt dogs, that they are companies that love animals. But it is much simpler and much colder than that. They manufacture food in bulk, to fill millions of bags, for the food to last a whole year on a store shelf without rotting, and for it to look pretty in a photo. They have to trade nutrition for chemical trash. That is all. It is pure cost mathematics. They aren't looking for the dog's health. They are looking for the highest possible profit margin using the cheapest leftovers they can find. It is a cynical process of waste optimization where your dog is the final landfill. If you take the trouble to read the label on your bag, you will see the deception right before your eyes. Most say the food is complete and balanced, a slogan they use so you feel reassured and don't keep reading. But if you look at the ingredient list, what you will see is cereal flour, animal remains that no one else wants, and strange chemical names that you can't even pronounce. Those chemicals are there for one reason only, so the food doesn't rot in the warehouse, and so your dog wants to eat it. Because, let's be honest, that cheap cereal base tastes like nothing. It is ground up cardboard. They add artificial flavorings to trick your dog's sense of smell. It's like someone giving you cardboard with a pizza flavor. Your dog eats it because it's hungry, and because its instinct is being tricked by chemicals designed in a lab. They are treating it like a dumpster. The result of all this is what we see around us every day. Dogs with dull fur, dogs that have no energy to play, dogs that start having kidney problems or internal inflammations that you can't see from the outside, but are eating away at their life from the inside. It is not bad luck. It is not that your dog is weak. It is simply what you put in its bowl yesterday, today, and tomorrow. A dog's body is like a machine. If you give it cheap fuel, full of additives and with no real value, the machine is going to break down ahead of time. It is inevitable, and they know it. They know that if the dog gets sick, you are going to spend even more money at the vet, completing the circle of their business. Kibble, as we know it, was born not long ago to get rid of industrial slaughterhouse waste. Someone saw the opportunity to mix animal remains that couldn't be sold for human consumption with very cheap grains, add lab-made vitamins so it meets the minimums, and sell it as first-class food. And it worked so well, they made so much money, that they have made us believe it is the only way to feed a dog. But there is a huge difference, an abyss, between giving a dog the minimum so it doesn't die and giving it the real food it needs to live strong. And the industry strives every day to make sure you don't see that abyss. They use colors, they use photos of nature, they use words like natural or premium that mean nothing real in the world of ingredients. What I am going to teach you is not dark science. It is not expensive. You don't need to spend the whole day cooking in the kitchen. It is real food. It is ingredients you can buy at any supermarket in your neighborhood, and that, at the end of the month, will cost you much less than that expensive bag of kibble that does so much damage to your pet. The problem is that many people prefer to pay for the lie in the bag because it is easier for them than taking responsibility for what they give their animal. The industry knows that people are lazy and uses that to their advantage. They sell you the idea that cooking for your dog is complicated, difficult, or dangerous. They want you to think that, if you don't buy their brand, you are a bad owner. It is pure marketing so you don't stop paying them. They want you to be afraid of doing something different, to believe that if you step off their path, your dog will be in danger. But the reality is that the danger is in what you are already giving them. But the reality is different. You have total control. You don't need their brands, you don't need their strange additives, and you don't need their promises on shiny packaging. What you need is to go back to the basics. What you need is to stop feeding a company that only seeks profit and start feeding your dog for real. This is not advice from someone who read a book on the internet or who is trying to sell you something. It is what I have done my whole life, and what I have seen work with my own eyes, year after year, dog after dog. My dogs have not needed expensive clinics because I haven't been poisoning them little by little with what comes in a plastic bag. I have seen what real food does, and I have seen what industrial kibble does, and I assure you, the difference is life or death. In this first part, I want you to be clear on this. Industrial food is a system designed for the benefit of a few, at the expense of the health of millions of dogs that have no voice to complain. It is a scam, and you are the sucker who is financing your own pain. It is time for you to open your eyes and stop being part of the problem. Most people prefer to stay asleep, buying the bag because it is what everyone does. But you are here reading this, and that means something has changed in your head. Get ready, because we are going to dismantle this step by step. There is no turning back once you start seeing the truth. The next part is where all of this becomes real. I'm going to give you the tools so you can start today. You don't need more excuses, you need results. And if you truly love your dog, the effort of reading what follows will be the best investment you have ever made. This is not just food. It is a way to give a little dignity back to your best friend. Stay with me, because we are just beginning to see the depth of this deception. And once you see the full picture, you will never look at a bag of kibble the same way again. The lie ends here today. Now that you know what you are really buying, and why the industry prefers that you stay in the dark, let's take action. I am not going to ask you to take a cooking course, nor to spend a fortune on gourmet foods that only exist so owners feel good about themselves. What I am going to give you is the basic recipe we use on the farm, the method that has kept my dogs strong for decades, and that you can prepare in your own kitchen with ingredients you already know, that you find at any supermarket, and that don't have any strange letters or hidden labels. The recipe consists of 5 ingredients. 5. Not one more, not one less. It is a balanced mix that gives your dog everything it needs to build muscle, to have constant energy, and to keep its immune system working as it should. The first is whole oats. Forget that instant oatmeal that comes in little boxes with lots of sugar. That is pure sugar that makes your dog have energy spikes and then sudden crashes. We use whole grain oats or thick-cut rolled oats. Oats are a source of slow, steady energy that keeps the dog active without making it nervous, without those mood swings that we sometimes see in dogs that live on refined grains. It cooks fast, digests well, and gives it that fiber boost that is vital for its digestive system to work like a clock. The second ingredient is chicken. And when I say chicken, I mean real meat. We use the thighs because they have more natural fat than the breast. That fat is necessary for its skin, for its coat, and for its brain to function well. We cook it only with water, no salt, no spices, nothing like the things we eat that are harmful to them. The water where you cook the chicken is pure gold. It is a broth full of minerals that you cannot throw away. That is our third secret ingredient, the broth. We use that liquid to moisten the oats and mix it all together. It is what makes the food appetizing, what makes the dog want to eat every last grain in the bowl. Think about the difference. A dry piece of kibble versus wet, fragrant food with the aroma of freshly cooked chicken. There is no comparison. The fourth ingredient is grated, fresh, raw carrot. Carrots give it vitamins and that fiber that helps keep the whole internal system clean. And the fifth is a teaspoon of virgin coconut oil. I know it sounds strange to many people, but coconut oil has properties that help reduce inflammation and keep the hair shiny, as if you had used an expensive product from the store. It is a natural anti-inflammatory that works from the inside out. And that's it. That is all. It is a complete, honest meal made by your own hands. How do we prepare it? It is very simple. It requires no special talent. You boil the chicken for about 20 minutes. While that happens, you cook the oats. When the chicken is ready, you take it out, let it cool a little, and shred it with your hands. This is where you make sure to remove any piece of bone, because cooked bone is dangerous. You mix the chicken with the oats, add the carrot you grated earlier, a little of the chicken broth, and the teaspoon of coconut oil. You stir it all with a wooden spoon and serve. There is no more mystery to it. It is real food, prepared by you, for the one you love most. Many people say to me, "Levi, but I don't have time for this every day." And I answer them, time is a matter of priorities. I cook for my family, and at that same moment, I prepare the dog's food for the whole week. I keep it in containers in the fridge, and that's it. It takes me 40 minutes a week. 40 minutes to ensure that my dogs don't eat industrial trash. Don't you think that's worth it? If you do the math on what you spend on the most expensive bag of kibble, you will see that this recipe is much cheaper. You are going to save hundreds of dollars a year. And the best part of all is that the money stays in your pocket, not in that of the multinational that sells you packaged poison. You are stopping the financing of an industry that treats you as a consumer with contempt. What you are going to see in the first few weeks will surprise you. In the first few days, the dog might be a little off because its body is cleaning itself, eliminating all that chemical load it accumulated for years. But after a week, you will see how it changes. You will see that it gets up with more energy, that its breath doesn't smell bad anymore, that its stool is small and firm, and that it has a shine in its hair that it didn't have before. That is the ultimate proof. It is not what I say, it is what your own dog is going to show you. I invite you to take the 7-day challenge. 7 days is all I ask of you. If after a week you see that your dog is a different animal, that it has more life and more strength, why would you go back to giving it what you were giving it before? The answer is obvious. You won't go back. It is a one-way trip. But I understand that taking the first step is scary. I understand that for years you have been told that kibble is the only safe option, the only scientific option. That is why, if you have doubts about the exact amounts according to your dog's weight, or if you want to know what to do with very old dogs or puppies, I have left a practical summary in the first comment of this video. It is a simple, direct guide so you don't have any doubts when starting. I have put everything there so you don't have to look for anything else. Now, if after hearing this, if after seeing how you have been deceived for years, you feel that this makes sense, I ask you a favor that helps many more people. This message needs to reach dog owners who don't know they have another option. There are thousands of families out there suffering because of a diet they shouldn't be receiving, and their owners don't even know they have another option. If what I have told you has helped you, if you value someone telling you the truth without beating around the bush, give this video a like. That simple gesture helps other people, who are opening a bag of kibble right now without knowing the damage they are doing, find this message. Subscribe to the channel if you want to keep hearing truths that the industry doesn't want you to know. We are going to keep talking about how to improve our quality of life, how to take care of our families, and how to stop being slaves to what they tell us is normal, just because they make money from it. The truth is uncomfortable, but it is the only path to freedom. Don't let them decide for you. Take control, cook for your dog, and watch its world change. We'll see you in the next video, where we will keep dismantling more myths that do us harm. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for deciding, today, to do things differently, with dignity, and with respect for your best friend. See you very soon, and remember, you are the one who decides what goes into its bowl.